What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 3 of the IGN Arena MOBA competitive gaming podcast.
Esports.
Woohoo! I'm Leah B. Jackson. This is James Faulkner.
What's up?
Brian Albert.
Hello.
Mitch Dyer.
What's up?
What's up? We have an awesome show for you today, but if you have missed any of our past episodes of the podcast, make sure you head over to our MOBA channel at youtube.com/IGN-arena, and we're going to go right into it today because we have a full show.
We have listener emails.
We got so many listener emails and feedback for the show from you guys. So thank you very much for writing into us. If you want to write in, you can do so by emailing arena-podcast@ign.com. And we're going to kick it off with a question from Matthew. He asks, is it more effective to play many characters often or to play one character for a long while when, you're first starting out and you want to learn how to play a MOBA? So I guess, James, what do you think?
This is tough. I actually like playing everyone just because you get a kind of a feel for like how the characters interact, because the character interactions is like hyper important in terms of.
I mean, it's more important than learning how to play one character. It's learning how everybody interacts with each other. The relationships between every character is like overwhelming,
crucial,
but so important.
Yeah, because mostly in team fights you're going to be like, okay, well, what am I going to do? But then you'll be like, I died. How did that happen?
Yeah,
and then that's when you go check the stats, and you're like, oh, that thing did a billion damage.
You look at their team and you realize, oh, that character has this skill, which is actually buffed by this item, and then after that, this character followed up and totally boned me.
Yep.
What about you? What would you say?
I'm going to be the odd person out and say I actually preferred playing one character.
I'm with you.
Over
You're not the
and
odd
over
person
and over
out.
again.
I'm with you.
Okay.
Instead of knowing almost nothing about 10 heroes after 10 games, I want to know a good amount about one hero after 10 games and kind of know that hero's role. And then from there, I can branch out and go, okay, like in team fights, maybe I'll kind of like let someone initiate and then I'll come in with this or whatever. I like knowing one hero and like learning that character's last hit rhythm and knowing their skills and finally feeling like I have a handle on one part of this game.
I want to be effective with somebody to the best of my ability while like soaking in that information about other characters.
Right. It's also really useful, like if you're new and your rest of your team isn't, they can be like, okay, you're Lich. You're Lich for these 10 games, so now we can build around you. I think it's really useful.
I mean, that's how I started training. When I started, Leah, you assigned me Sven. You're like, okay, you want to smack stuff around, you are playing Sven. That is who we're going to teach you.
And Dota 2 is what he's talking about.
Yes. So this is your character. This is your role. These are the items that are really beneficial for him. This is the order you want to upgrade your particular skills, and here's why. And that helped me understand not only...
I'm the best coach.
She's the best. It's true. God, you're so good. I love it. I loved training with Leah, and I love training with Leah still. But yeah, that was super helpful. And once I had a basic understanding of how that particular character operated, I knew how to initiate in team fights. I knew how to get away. I knew how to use my skills in what order, and kind of how I could help another teammate, like, okay, I'm going to initiate with the Q attack, which stuns people, which lets Brian follow up with this character.
So how many games would you say, if you are going to go the play only one character route, how many games do you play as that character until you feel comfortable with it?
250.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's a lot. But
I have a question, though. Is that, like, in the very beginning, though, you want to play a lot of characters so you know what type of characters you'd like to play.
Sure.
I feel like if like you play a support and only play that support, then you won't understand.
Man, I feel like you need to know the game more than you need to know characters. Like,
sure.
Because then you can start randoming, and that's,
Sure.
So, this is all purely from my own experiences. I got comfortable with one character, moved on to the next. Once I felt I had an understanding of, a good number of Dota 2 characters, I started randoming. And then that gave me the extra gold to get items for characters I was learning.
But I also feel like you need to play at least all the archetypes. You need to play a support, a carry,
jungler,
semi-carry, all those things. So you have an understanding of that rather than like, I'm just gonna play supports, because then you will understand how carries need to position themselves.
I'm definitely of the opinion that I feel like it's more effective to play a lot of characters when you're first starting out. But that can be incredibly overwhelming when there are 100 characters to choose from. You don't know where to start.
Yeah.
So for me, I've always thought, pick someone who looks cool, play him for a couple games, see if you like him. If you don't, move on to the next one. Because I'm sort of, with James here, I feel that if you know how to play more characters, you're going to be more effective for your team because you're going to know what the abilities of the characters you're playing against are going to be doing. And that's really important because, like you were saying, you need to know, that guy can do this thing. I need to stay really far away from that character, or, or that guy is really squishy. I know that because I played him a bunch. Like, I can go in and use my abilities on him. So it's sort of a toss-up, and it's definitely personal playstyle too. But I think that if you are playing a character that you don't necessarily like over and over again, you should branch out and try other things, because there are so many different styles of characters, and I don't know, I think that it's worth it to try new ones.
I agree.
Go for it.
Speaking of actually playing a single character, I've been playing a little bit more League recently, and I've been playing the Team Builder, which basically you can specify, I want to play this hero in this position.
That's a great idea, by the way.
Which is awesome. I've been playing a ton of Ziggs because I was like, I just want to learn Ziggs. And so all I would do, it's a little bit longer of a queue. It's like it's about like, I would say 20% longer, but I would do other stuff. I could do laundry and everything in the meantime, and just like, oh, my queue popped. All right, I'm just going to play Ziggs game. And I did that for like 10 games.
And it's not just the people, like, mid or I feed. It like removes that
because if I call mid, they know I'm already going mid. Like,
okay.
It sets me up.
Does it lock you in, or is it like I would like to do that?
No, it's a lock. You go in and say, I want to play this hero in this position.
Okay.
And then it will
as this
so
role
good.
too.
That's so good.
As this role. So you can play like certain things. Say if you wanted to play like Karma as a mid rather than a support hero, then you could do that, and it tells everyone, hey, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, and then it matches you up so that your whole team has all the necessary folks that you need in order to win a game.
Yeah, because the person to the captain basically can specify, hey, I want these positions. So if you want to practice, hey, I want an aggressive jungler, you can specify, hey, I want an assassin in the jungle.
I like the League mode. Like, there's a new mode right now called One for All, where everyone on all
nonsense.
10 players play as the same character, and I've been playing that mode a lot, and that's great for learning how to play characters. And the Earth mode that was in League, when you could just like constantly spam your spells, was a good sort of like a tutorial mode for some characters who I didn't know how to play.
I need something in Dota that is low pressure. Because I got stomped last night. Once was not so bad, and the second time was really bad. And I'm like, I want to play, but not.
I saw a couple of our friends tweeting, like Katie, and who was just like, I hate Dota.
It's been a rough week for most of us playing Dota, where we just get into some rough games.
There's one thing I do want to point out about playing one hero, though. Like when I first started playing Dota last year, I played CM, Crystal Maiden, and she was slow, and I couldn't kill anyone. And like I was like, I don't like CM, even well into like months later. And like, it's not fair. Like, I got better and now I like her. But like, I kind of held on to that, like, oh, I don't like her because a long time ago I didn't play. Like, and Tiny, I played Tiny once, hated him, never played him again. Yeah.
Tiny's
so just watch out for that.
Yeah.
Especially if you're just playing supports, because at the end the scoreboard pops up and it's like kills, deaths, assists, like XP per minute, gold per minute, and supports aren't up there on any of those, and so you feel like you're not doing anything well.
Also, if you end up in a game where, you see a lifestealer and he's just annihilating everybody, but when you're done
like,
that game,
I want to play lifestealer.
Exactly, you want to play me. Like, I want to know how to do that. Watch that match and watch it from his perspective, and just sit there and for that half an hour, just follow lifestealer and see what he did, what he bought, when he bought it, who he laned with, if he laned with anyone at all.
Yeah,
who
in
he jumped
Dota,
into. Like,
replays are essential.
So good.
They're so great. You can't really watch replays in League right now, I don't believe.
Not really, yeah.
But there's tutorial videos and stuff you can look up.
Totally. Like, if you like one character, you should definitely look up videos on how to play that character or a guide or whatever. But if you are playing a MOBA that has replays, watch them. Yeah. And they're very helpful. You can see not only, how other people took advantage of you and your team, but, the mistakes that you made, and you can go back and fix them. So that's a really, helpful way to get better as well. So I think that about wraps up this topic.
Thanks, Matthew.
Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you.
Yes. Again, if you guys want to write in with your questions or feedback, our email is ign-arena-podcast@ign.com, and it goes to all four of us, so we all have been reading all of your awesome emails. So thank you again.
It's true. Y'all love Smite so much.
You love Smite. Don't worry. We're going to talk about Smite a little bit later.
there.
I have something special coming up for that. So you guys will like the Smite.
I don't even know what this is.